Hi, I'm Ashley Swartz, CEO of Furious Corp. This is perhaps my 10th or 12th Beet Retreat. We're here in Miami. It's the biggest ever. They just keep getting better, which astounds me. This sort of journey of continuous improvement that Andy and the Beet team are on is amazing, and I'm privileged to be part of this journey. So we started the conference kind of with this call to arms, right? We really wanted to talk about defining the enemy. Who is the enemy? Because there were a lot of players in the room this time that actually were competitors. There were multiple broadcasters, multiple operators, distributors, technology companies trying to solve the same solutions and basically capture the same pieces or segments of the business. And unifying against a set of enemies is a great way actually to win a battle, right? Because I think we're all sort of endeavoring upon a battle was what we uniformly agreed, and we share a lot of the same problem sets. So the theme talked a lot about, what do the walled gardens, specifically Facebook and Google, what do they mean for television? And both of these companies are trying to get into the television business. What is the role they're trying to play? Is it displacement? Is it cannibalization? Is it just being, ready to catch the softball, which is naturally occurring of share shift because audiences are moving to these platforms? And we sort of came full circle where ultimately at the last day of the conference, we're talking about how we can learn from these guys. And one of the great ahas and breakthroughs we had is that ultimately maybe, it is sometimes about surprising your enemy or doing something different, but it is also about looking at their strategy for battle and learning from them. And that led us to this point of arrival of collaboration and how important as an ecosystem and a business, and the business of television, whether that's over IP, that's analog, that's through a set-top box, that's on an encoded linear stream, terrestrial stream, it doesn't matter, it's TV. How do we work together as an industry to solve what are fundamentally business problems, not ad tech problems? And that was what was really refreshing, is that for the first time in a lot of these conversations, I heard people mention the word P&L and business outcomes and accountability and those things of really trying to create unity around the lexicon and the language of our business. And that ultimately is what is the tip of the spear for advanced and addressable television. And that for me is exciting. I am more bullish and thrilled than ever that advanced television or addressable television is not at risk to become what programmatic ultimately has been for our industry. Programmatic has been this kind of nebulous thing where, I liken it to gluten, right? Programmatic was something, it's a word that everybody used, everybody talked about, everybody was afraid of, everybody avoided, but ultimately didn't really know what it meant. But we all used it in our everyday language to talk about our business. I don't have the same fear that that is the destiny of advanced or addressable television. We have a clear sense of what it is because we have a clear sense of what it does and the value and the ROI it provides. However, what we need to spend more time on, this is a lot of the theme of the conference, was how we get there, how we transform industries, and how we actually get to, through technology and solutions, to really being able to start to talk about media and advertising as a business and less about sort of, this space that is mired with three-letter acronyms. The last thing that I think was so transcendent for me is we got to a point of arrival where we all acknowledged very naturally that we are sometimes our own worst enemy. And what we can't be remiss in overlooking or forgetting is that ultimately this is about hearts and minds. EQ, emotional intelligence, is going to be more important than IQ or technology, capabilities, functionality, data, addressability. All of that is ever going to afford. It's worthless if ultimately people are still fearful of change, or they're fighting change, or they are endeavoring upon continually protectionist tactics and not collaborating to offer a marketplace for addressable that provides demand, which are the people that are writing the checks, that's agency and buyers and marketers and advertisers, providing them business-based outcomes with accountability and confidence in order to be able to allow our industry in this sector to grow and momentum to continue to build. So I don't know that we definitively articulated what the tipping point is. I think everybody had a different perspective as to their role in this change and getting us to that place and what the tipping point itself would be. But ultimately, where we got to is that everybody in the room raised their hand. And these are the big dogs of our industry, raised their hand and said, I want to be part of creating that. And I'm going to be part of that tipping point, and I'm in the boat and I'm rowing. And that is what is so different about where we are today versus where we are just 12 months ago, if not just 16 months ago. And I'd like to say that small company, earlier stage technology provider, I'm in the boat, I'm rowing, and I want to be part of the solution. So I welcome you all to join us and check out the next retreat, because I'm sure it will just keep getting better. Thanks.